a rapturous welcome. The march had polarised the two communities and had further undermined the authority of moderates in Northern Ireland. That night, the police went into the Catholic district of Derry, the Bogside, and, to quote a government report, were guilty of assault and battery, malicious damage, and the use of provocative sectarian and political slogans. Northern Ireland was at the point of no return. The 11th of January 1969. This civil rights march was scheduled to pass through the centre of Newry.
Last night, the local committee on your behalf made a decision. That decision was that they would not accept any reroute on this march. They would not accept this unjust and tyrannical ban imposed by the discredited unionist government. It is our view that we cannot go forward and accept any reroutes.
The parade will not be permitted to turn left at this point.
Nonsense!
Order! I would now appeal to you all to be sensible in this matter and to continue a peaceful parade along the route which has been laid down.
The civil rights movement up to now has followed a policy of non-violence. Now, are we going to let down the decent people of this country? No! There are a lot of people have suffered. Now, is their suffering going to be in vain? Or can we wait for a few more months to get the reforms which must inevitably come?
Invite them. One goes on. Invite them. Come on.
As the stewards lost control, Catholic demonstrators were for the first time violent.
But I have also said that if there should arise a crisis in this land, when I would be needed to enter the political arena, I would not fear, but I would go with the support of the Protestant people of Ireland. I am making a solemn declaration to you that if there is an election in the near future in Ulster, whether in prison or out of prison, I'm going to fight O'Neill and Vance.
Paisley was now emerging as a major Protestant politician. In February 1969, Protestant demonstrators in Belfast were chanting, "O'Neill must go." Then in March and April, there were bomb attacks against water and electricity installations. It was assumed to be the responsibility of the IRA. Actually, they'd been perpetrated by Protestant extremists. However, these incidents raised old fears and anxieties about the IRA. As water was taken from standpipes, O'Neill was blamed for the degenerating situation and the rebirth of the IRA. On the 28th of April, 1969, he resigned.
What is now impossible for me may be, I do not know, easier for someone else. But I have no regrets for 6 years in which I have tried to break the chains of ancient hatred. I have been unable to realize during my period of office all that I had sought to achieve. Whether now it can be achieved in my lifetime, I do not know.
The Unionist Party meets to elect a new leader who would automatically become Prime Minister.
Gentlemen, as Chief Whip of the Unionist Party and as
There were
Chairman
two
of the Select
candidates.
Meeting which
James
is
Chichester
taking
Clark,
place,
thought to be more moderate than his rival, Brian Faulkner.
Major J.D. Chichester Clark, 17 votes. Mr. Brian Faulkner, 16.
Chichester Clark was related to O'Neill. British politicians at Westminster were following events in the province with increasing concern. Traditional Protestant summer marches were likely to spark off trouble. Chichester Clark would be urged by James Callaghan, Home Secretary and responsible for Northern Ireland, to ban all marches.
Banning these marches, which seem to cause so much trouble in Northern Ireland?
One judges each occasion on its merits and tries to act sensibly and with discretion and responsibility as the situation arises.
The Apprentice Boys' March, celebrating the relief of the siege of Londonderry in 1689, went ahead. To have banned it would have put Chichester Clark's political career in jeopardy. "15,000 Protestants marched that day in a city of only 50,000 people, the majority Catholic. In the Catholic Bogside, barricades were built. Over the past 8 months, the police had twice attacked the area, damaging property as they harassed and taunted the residents. The pomp and strut of the march was met with Catholic jibes. "700 police stood by. During the afternoon, Catholic youths stoned the march as it passed the Bogside. The predictable disorder had begun. To no avail, moderates on both sides tried to defuse the situation.
That's the solution to the problem. Clear them, or we'll clear these.
As both sides threw stones, the police stood with their backs to the Protestant rioters.
Move back, please. Move back to the footpath.
Oh, but I belong to Jerry and I know that, friend. I know that. At the same time, these men here have to keep their backs to you and watch them and you're not helping them. Show it up.